Hi, my name is Rene Veerman, middle initials AJM, and I'd like to tell my life story in about 3 to 4 minutes' time. And I warn you up front, it's not the lightest of stories, so here we go. Back in 2001 on 9/11, I was in regular unskilled jobs after having suffered a major mental burnout in the industry of Amsterdam.NL because of impossible to solve coding problems between Borland's Delphi programming language for Windows 95 and 98 and Microsoft's 12 different versions of Windows out on the market at that time. So when I see planes crash into the two towers, that hero instinct in me that I was indoctrinated with in my youth so thoroughly by Hollywood kicks in big time. I knew volunteers were needed to prevent repeat attacks because I knew how festive Muslim young men got whenever they landed a major terrorist strike. Within an hour of seeing it, I personally identified online forums to be one of the major next frontiers in combating terrorism. We'd need to speak up against their recruiters. So I find myself at a big online Dutch forum for Muslim youths, Marokkaanse jongeren en actualiteiten over at forums.morocco.nl, and I started reading and replying. And my initial assumptions were correct. There was much enthusiasm and determination among Muslim young men to cause more terrorist strikes, to glorify their own warriors, and to demonize our warriors and our politicians. However, in doing so, I found that more and more of my time was being taken up by these new activities in my life because I happened to win just about every discussion I entered. Voices started talking to me inside my head without being heard by anyone else's ears. When I finally asked to these voices in my mind why I was being pushed so much to produce more and more posts, I was told by them, "That's because you're the only one who's so good at this, and we need you to do this every early morning and every late night so that people can read it all day." This directly led to prolonged severe sleep deprivation for me, like 4 hours instead of eight per night, for months on end. And when I finally got mentally confused as a result of this, I was shipped off to psychiatry by cops, where I was under the not so tender care of people hell bent on keeping me alive, regardless of the overall cost to myself. At one point, during a bipolar enthusiastic moment, because there were those as well, I wrote an email to a mailing list of friends, stating, former friends now by the way, stating in a confused manner that I had joined the ranks of top world influencers and that no one could stop me and my angels. It was an act of possession or confusion or enthusiasm, but likely all three combined in some way. My friends, former friends, res- res- responded by dumping me literally at a mental hospital, stating in an authoritative way that I needed to stay there for weeks and that I needed to heed the orders of the doctors. Doctors who prescribed the heavy dopamine blocker drug Haldol to me, which turned me from very upbeat to near suicidal for real within days. I'll never forgive those former friends, nor forget what they did to me. and not the shrinks who call themselves doctors without even heeding the oath of Hippocrates either. The oath of Hippocrates says that you will not harm a patient. Well, psychiatrists do this all the time. It's part of their profession, they think. And when you ask them about it, they tell you, oh, that's because we earn a fat sandwich off it every day. We make good money. That's what an honest psychiatrist will tell you, and what one of them actually did tell me when I came in requesting an explanation as to why I was being mistreated so much. That was here in Amsterdam. So let's finish up this brief story. My memoirs in full that goes on YouTube just in case I get killed over the geopolitics or just end up taking my own life because I've had it. I'll do so in a peaceful manner, people, if I even do it. I got much to live for, we'll get to that in a minute. Yet, because I was winning the war on terror on forums, in the end I did conquer forums.Morocco.NL for a while, and not just on one forum, but nearly everywhere I went, because it required biased moderators and site operators to disable my account per IP address bans, which was done on Israelmilitary.net and defense.pk for Pakistan, but not on US and Dutch forums, where you also find a lot of Muslims and a lot of immigrants who have all sorts of opinions about them being right and the white man being nothing but Satan worshippers, which is total bullshit. We just want to stay alive. We want to keep our women alive. We want to keep our women free from rape. Very basic stuff, people. So I kept on going with providing world leaders with advice on how to win the war on terror and the subsequent Cold War II against the BRICS alliance, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, plus a few others by now. And the funny things are, A, I never got paid a dime for my hard work, and when I insisted people pay me money for it, I got ridiculed and harassed. B, world leaders are still taking my advice when it came to day-to-day operations. Well, fast forward yet another 10 to 15 years, and we're in 2025, the day of shooting this video. It's now December 2nd. I'm under financial protective custody because of a psychiatry and a country that wants to treat me as its slave laborer until I drop for reasons of high work pressure or old age or combined. And because of parents who I now hate so much that I don't speak to them or see them anymore. And thus it's time to make some drastic changes. To choose for fostering the software business that I've built during these same hard decades of my life. Software that is currently hosted on nicer.app, nicer.app, and said.by, said.by, to stop absorbing mass media news, which is also something I really need to do because this news handling is causing my stress, is causing the voices in my head to go haywire from time to time over perceived crises that I need to solve, that my expertise is needed on, because I have become a bit of an open source intelligence analyst, a a pretty decent one as well that can measure up to the average admiral inside NATO ranks. I know about troop movements, I know about recruiting powers, I know about weapons in the field and what they can do, the different types of weapons, which country holds them, which country can build them, which countries have the technical means to build them, and staff to build them, the people. I know, for instance, BRICS, despite the numerical odds, is not as strong as NATO. They overestimate themselves quite a lot. They're trying to catch up in the engineering field, but we won't let them. That's all I have to say on that topic, or I become a traitor. So, to stop absorbing mass media news and to stop helping governments deal with the wars that they start and grow between each other. Because, people, that's what's really going on. And as a member of the Dutch resistance, that's all I have to say on that topic for now. I can make another video on that topic of growing wars for purposes of corruption on some other occasion, and I doubt that I'll even do that. It took me half a night just to shoot this video, to write the text of my memoirs, and then to speak it into this video and upload it. So let this be the end of it. I grew up poor, had to work since I was 11 years old or so, and I don't want to die poor. Society has already taken my reproductive years from me. I'm 48 by now. So enough is enough. And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you for your attention, people.